Alright, what's up guys? Quick video, tire bands uh, for your drag wheels. Obviously this is a front tire, or front wheel, so you're not going to need to do it on this, but for the purpose of demonstration, we're going to use that, and we're going to use this blue tape. So here we go. First things first, I need to measure the diameter, so I would be using calipers if you have them, quick and easy. So for me, I already did the measuring, so I got 3.08 inches across. Then we're going to get the circumference, the distance all the way around. So we're just going to get our calculator and plug in 3.08. We're going to times it by pi, 3.14, and that's going to give us 9.67 inches all the way around. So now that we know the distance all the way around that we need to make our band, we just need to cut 2 strips of tape. So my calipers aren't big enough to measure that, so I had to use a standard ruler. So quick tip for standard ruler, there is 16 notches in an inch. So for instance, I had 9.67, so if I wanted to know how far to go past 9 inches, I'd just do 0.16, so 16 notches, 0.16, and then we're going to times that by the 0.67, the fraction of the inch that we need to go past, so 0.67, and that's going to give us 10.72. So 10.72 is basically just saying 10.72 notches, so we're going to round that up to 11, so 11 notches. So 9 inches, and then 11 notches past 9 inches. So I don't know if you can even see this on camera, but you know, like we said, so 8 would be the middle point, so that would be 9, 10, 11, so 3 notches past the center. So anyway, we already measured these out. So we've got the 2 strips. So now what we're going to want to do is we're going to pull these off, or get these ready anyway, and you're going to stick them together as best you can, as even as you can. So flipping these over. So you're going to need to leave a tail, you know, maybe say like an inch or so, or some amount of tail. But we're going to do our best, our absolute best, to stick these together as evenly as possible. Actually, these are kind of rolling up, so I'm kind of thinking this kind of rolls up like this. So this is just working with my particular tape, which is not the tape you'd be using for this. You'd normally be using Gorilla tape, which I don't think will roll like this, but just for the sake of the video, just kind of rolling it up so that it should be easier for me to match it. So this is probably the trickiest part, and having clean cuts on your initial stuff is going to help out big time, but you want to basically have as little not overlapping as possible. So this is kind of getting janky now. Alright, so definitely don't do what I was just doing. That didn't work out. So anyway, we're going to continue down the path. As best you can. So, good gravy. So that came out pretty terrible. So of course you want to be a little more meticulous than that, but so you see you've got these overlapping portions here, which these are excessive. Normally if you're trying this and you've got this much not overlapping, you probably want to try it again, start over. So I don't know if the camera picks it up, but this whole portion is not overlapping. But we're going to keep rolling with this. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take our 2 sticky ends, because remember we had that little portion that we we left behind, and then obviously we're going to stick that together. So when doing this, let's see. So I'm just going to try to match it straight on to this one and try to get your your tag ends to line up as best as possible without overlapping. And looks something like that. So now we've got this massive portion, as you can see here, that didn't overlap, and same on the other side, big portion. So what we're gonna do with this is I'm just gonna squeeze these together and try to get them basically as flat as possible, kind of cinching them down here. So then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to do my best to cut a straight line so that I'm not losing any of the band. Or try to lose as little of the overlap band as possible, which will be pretty difficult because we did such a poor job initially. But here we go. So there's that. So you've got kind of a flat surface there, and then we got to do it with the other side. And there's still a sticky part right there. So we're gonna have to make it even thinner. So I don't know, again, I don't know if the camera's getting that, but there's still this portion over here that needs to be trimmed out. So this is gonna be exceptionally thin. Okay, so that's our band there, and there's no sticky stuff hanging out, and we've got a complete band, which would go around our tire. And I usually, if I'm doing measuring, I'll kind of round down, because sometimes the foams they're kind of rounded, so I feel like a flatter, if it compresses it a little bit, you'll get a little bit of a flatter action going on. So now we're just trying to get this thing around here as best we can. And if it is tighter, you're gonna have to push in the foam a little bit to get it working around. So we can see we're kind of on there, but we got quite a bit of ways to go. So I'm just kind of running my finger in there, or, you can use whatever. I'm just doing this to kind of compress the foam in the exact spot that I'm working it down. Alright, so that's on there. So if we go around, we can see that this one's kind of jank, and it's not fully seated. So the cleaner you are and the better measured you are, of course, the more coverage you're going to get. But by and large, you're going to be preventing, the center of the foam is going to be what's going to be expanding out. So as long as you've got the center covered up, you're pretty much going to be good. Obviously, as much as you can around the whole foam. But that's it. You're probably asking me, well, why don't you just tape the foam? And you can definitely do that. Just one band around, trim it, and just, pack it in there. I like to do it this way because I generally probably run the same tires, and then I can just take the foam off and transfer it over. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching.